Good morning. So, today I'm going to be talking about how copying and replicating other artists' work is probably one of the best things you can do for your own creative work. If you hear any noises in the background, panting noises, that's because I'm walking my dog in the background who just always is pulling on a lead. Anyway, this unscripted video, I'm just going to talk from my personal experience. On why I think this is so beneficial. Okay, so ideas like this have been discussed in books like Still Like an Artist before, but I'm just going to talk about my personal experience. So I think the first reason why it's so beneficial is because if you try to replicate work from one of the best artists ever, or an artist that you really look up to, you're basically getting into their minds and their creative thought process, or you're getting as close to it as humanly possible, and that very much informs your process from that point forward. I think that's really beneficial because when I first started making art, I was very much in the mindset of all my stuff has to be completely original, creative. I want to come up with all my ideas on my own. And as much as this is a very exciting approach to take, it's just way harder. And it takes so much longer to do, and it's just stressful. Basically putting a burden on yourself. Whereas if you try to just replicate another artist's work, first of all, it's never going to turn out like theirs. So it's already going to be original because it's getting filtered through your mindset. But second of all, you just learn way more. You just learn so much more. So that's the first reason. Second reason is it takes a massive burden and a massive weight off your minds when you're creating artworks. If every time you go to create something and you're trying to do something original and something different, that's a lot of energy you're using trying to actually create. Whereas if you just sit down and be like, all right, I'm just going to try to make an artwork that this person would make, or I'm going to try to copy this artwork, you can kind of just purely focus on the actual art. Okay, on actually making the art, and you don't need to overthink about everything else. Okay, so it's actually quite a very fun thing to do, honestly. I think they're the two main reasons, honestly. And the reason I wanted to bring this up was because I was making some art yesterday afternoon, and this is what I did. Instead of trying to make something original and focus on that, I was just I'm going to try to replicate, I don't know if you know this artist, Magnil Lopez. I think that's how you say his name. Very popular, very talented digital artist. Makes digital collages, photo manipulations, kind of like myself. I was I'm just going to try to make something that he would make. And it turned out nothing like what he would do, but just doing that activity, trying out, techniques that he would do, it was very easy to generate an art idea, and I learnt so many new ways of creating digital artworks that I'm just going to filter into my work in the future. So I guess that is the main idea that I want to share with everyone in this video, is that don't try to always be so original in your work and put that massive burden on you, because it just makes creating so much more difficult, makes it way harder. And there's no shame in trying to replicate work from people who are already successful or who are already great, because it'll just, fast track? It'll fast track your progress as an artist, and you'll basically just improve and get way better. Okay, and instead of trying to learn everything from scratch, okay, remember that there's people who have already achieved success in the artistic field. There's people who have already developed styles, and with you replicating them, okay, it's just speeding up your success and your progress so much more. So don't forget that there's artists out there that you should be studying, okay? You should be trying to replicate and basically take their years of experience and knowledge and try to learn it in half the time, okay? It's honestly a blessing to have access to all these different artists, so you should be taking it for granted and just not isolating yourself trying to figure it all out on your own, okay? Use the resources, use other people. Man, your creative work will be so much better and you'll enjoy it so much more. That's all from me though, okay? You have a great rest of your day, See you later, mate.